Three, two, one, action. Oh wow, okay, the light's actually fine. Hello again, it's fourth, fifth week, yeah, of me being in Belgium. And it was that. But it was a great week, and honestly, I'm, this is probably been like the best time I've ever been. And going to school last week, we had a holiday on Tuesday. I think it was a day off of the French community, and I think this Friday, or I guess Friday, we have another holiday. I'm not sure exactly for what, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have another holiday. So they have a lot of holidays here, which is something I love, but it's great. And also, we're 2 weeks away from the end of this term or semester. 2 weeks for until like a 2 week break. This yeah, this whole thing. I was trying to just write Monday, October 3rd, YouTube. It's in reverse. Jeez. But as I was saying, yeah, they have a lot of holidays. I think a little more than Canada, although sometimes, during like some month you may not have a holiday, you may not have like a day off. Whereas in Canada, you're guaranteed at least like one Friday or Monday off because of Pro D days. So that's, not that bad, because although you have like some month where it's a long stretch, you have like a lot of holidays in like certain month, which kind of balances it out, I guess. And it was fun. And honestly, I have a few, like, I guess, what do you call it? Like, I guess a bit like of suggestions, like to like, what you can do when you're in Belgium and all that. And yeah, we'll just go by that. So first of all, like this week we went to a city in Belgium named Namur. It's a great city, and honestly, so we arrived at around noon, and it was like the best. Like, it was a great time. We went to a store just close by to the train station, like 3 minute walk. Like, one of the best stores I've been to, and the store owner was very nice. He's of course he only speaks French, but he was a very nice guy. As you know, his story usually opens at 12, around noon. He came. We were there like 11:30. So, and it was exactly when he came back too, though. So he was like, "Oh yeah, just let me warm up the machine so you guys can take a seat and have a drink, and I'll get you guys to order like when it's all ready." And that was, great and all that. And I must say, the store from the outside looks amazing. It's called Cat's College. I honestly recommend you guys go in there and, trying it out, because it's honestly a good place for eating. And honestly, a pretty cheap place. I had, I think, a not a wrap, but like one of those um, pitas or buns, whatever, and in the middle they put chicken, lettuce, mayo, and all kinds of stuff like that. And it was only for €7, and there was fries on the side as well. That was probably the best. I guess one of the like cheap, like, okay, out of the cheap meals I've had, I guess, like, for example, compared to McDonald's and all that, this was probably the best meal I've had. And honestly, the pricing is like very cheap. And it's a great store. The store owner was honestly the nicest guy, because we went. He saw us as we were like, oh yeah, we're exchange students, and he saw me. He was immediately like, oh yeah, we have a Chinese in our store, and he was very nice about that. And what happened after, like I said, I was from Canada, and he asked like, are you from China? I said yes. He spoke like one sentence, one phrase in Chinese, and we had like a great talk and all that. And he's honestly a very nice person. And that like store as a whole, it looks nice, and um, the store also, it's like um, the store's also, it tastes very good. The fries and all that, it tastes you know, great, amazing. And you have there's a lot of options of like, you know, what you want to what you want to eat. Like for example, if you don't like, if you have like, you can eat like beef, chicken, you know. I think there's like Mexican flavored. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I didn't order it. There's vegetarian. There's like burgers, and there's also not only like those bun things. You can also buy wraps, um, which is also amazing. And that's that was the store. And honestly, if you ever go to Namur, I genuinely like would say if you have the time, try it out. It's great. And honestly, it's the city as a whole. Also, it's beautiful. I We went on a gondola, the lift, and just looking outside, it was like amazing. Um, and because Namir has a citadel like above their city, we went up. I went up there and took, you know, pictures of the town. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And genuinely speaking, I feel like it's one of those towns that deserves a visit, especially if you like, you know, are on a tour in Europe and all that. And also, I this week I got my bank card. I opened my bank account last week, got it this week, and honestly, genuinely speaking, from my opinion, it looks way better than the Canadian bank cards. Way better. It's simple. Um, Whereas Canada, you know, for example, TD, they have a sofa on the thing. It's all green. All side, like there's like what, three shades of green on like one card, and also the card numbers also on there. I think in what, yellow or like gold colored, which sometimes you can like scrape it off and it's gonna look like, I don't know, like gray. And honestly, it doesn't look that good from, you know, a looks standpoint. Whereas here, um, the card, it's just red with like, you know, some like their logo type of design thing. And honestly, it's, and they don't have numbers on there. They put the numbers on the back. Um, like the car number, your name, and also a number called IBAN number, which is like the number you can use for like transactions. You just need to fill that out. You don't need like Swift numbers anymore and stuff like that. And um, that's nice. And that's nice, and it just looks good as a whole. So like when you take it out, you won't be just like actually like confused on like what the design is about, because it's very simple. What it's like, you know, like. And I think honestly, like, whereas, you know, in Canada and like, you know, all those bank cards and all that with numbers on them, you're just like afraid to even show a picture of the card, because you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna leave my bank account number, which I'm gonna get hacked into and all that. Whereas with this one, if you show the front, nothing's gonna happen, because it's like there's no numbers, like there's nothing, which is great. And uh, and that's there's that. And this week or next week, it's quite unfortunate because so on Wednesday we were supposed to visit a pretty small city by the name of, I think, Dinan, and that city is, I don't know, an hour and a half away by train, like an hour by driving. Uh, but because the trains are like the workers of like the trains and all that, they're gonna go on strike, because I'm not sure why, I didn't read more into it. I just know they're gonna be on strike, so nobody, so like a lot of people couldn't make it, so they had to cancel it. But they will reschedule it, and I hope it's soon, because I definitely want to visit that town. I've heard so many good things about it. Like for example, the home fit of sax, and as someone who likes music and has like played a lot of music instruments, you, of course, you will want to like visit the home of one of the inventors of probably one of the greatest instruments. The saxophone is, of course, widely known. My friend plays it. there's like what, 5 people in like the school band who plays, or more than five, um, at least more than five every single year. There's like I think 10 in the year that like I joined band, and that was, that's great and all that. Okay, it's starting to get like a little dark, but what, and so, of course I want to visit that, and also, um, having gone on Wednesday, we would have met the mayor, I think, who would have made an introduction. And first of all, that's a great listening comprehension in French, and second of all, I mean, it's a mayor, so it's, you know great. And but hopefully we will still get to meet him. And I honestly want to visit it as soon as possible. And as already, um, it's unfortunate that, like, the train workers are on strike, but it's probably for somewhat of a good reason, maybe. And hopefully we get to visit there, maybe like before November, hopefully, if that can happen, because if it's pushed to like spring and stuff like that, it's gonna be a long time waiting. And like, honestly, for me, I don't really like waiting, because then I'll just be anticipating it, and then like just like, oh yeah, whatever, like however many weeks to go and all that, and then that's just gonna get into my head. So that's like something else as well. This week was just, we also went to a family gathering reunion of my host family, and it was a fun experience. Just, it was a long day. Um, it was like mostly in French. I think, well, some talked to me in like a bit of English, but most of the time I had to speak in French and all that. So, um, it was like, it took a lot of brain power, but it honestly was, the family was nice. It was amazing, and this entire gathering kind of reminds me of, you know those like big family gatherings that you would have in, like, for example, I think when I was in China, those big family gatherings that we had, I guess it was more in the, like, the suburban area, like a tiny village and all that. Kind of felt like that, and I think there was maybe 50 people at the place. So there was a lot of people to meet and greet, and honestly, I don't think I remember. I may remember like a few people's names. I'm sorry. I It's hard, all right. I mean, technically, school teachers take like a month to remember all of our names, so like I think I'm fine. Um, but it's a it was honestly a great gathering. The food was amazing, and yeah, it was. Um, and met some great people, and I talked a bit, with people and all that, and uh, and honestly, I'm doing amazing here, and I'm having, like, a great time in my life, and I would probably say my French is getting better. That's for sure. Whereas when I came, I'd probably say I understood like 30%, maybe not even 30%. And now I'd say maybe around 50%, 40%, somewhere around that. Not of course, not like really fluent, but like at least I'm getting better and understanding more. And I think when I talk in French, I'm a little more confident now. So I'm not like, you know, afraid to speak and all that. So that's great improvement. And school tests, they're really piling up. There's a lot of tests. Of course, a lot of these are formative, which is basically for them to know like what stage you're at, like how you're doing throughout this process and all that. And I would say at the end, but of course there are some that like are, they call it certificative, which is like basically they go to count towards your grade, and that grade on the end, like if you like pass a year, like you would get credit for it and all that. though it's different from Canada. Whereas over here, like their grade is based on out of 20. So like 15.5 out of 20, whatever. Whereas in Canada, out of 100%, and it's throughout the year. Whereas here, I'm pretty sure the exams are worth a lot more. They have one at Christmas and one at June, which I'm not ready for, especially the one in December. I don't. I hope. I hope I don't like fail because that'll be embarrassing. But honestly, like I'm not that confident in me passing, but I'll try my best. Honestly, like right now, all I can say is I'm gonna try my best. There's nothing else I can do because like the only thing because like if I do good on an exam, great. Like I'm learning a lot. But if I like do bad on an exam, I'm just gonna have to work harder and try and I guess get the grades up before the end of the year, which I have like 8 more months to do. And honestly, time flies. Like it's already been a month and a half, and we've we've like barely like I feel like it's barely been. I feel like it was just like a few weeks ago that I arrived here, where now it's already been like a month and a half, and like um, we're like 3 weeks away from I guess they would just call it fall break, autumn break, like a 2 weeks of break, and during one of those weeks I'm going to I think Barcelona if everything goes well. So that's great. Get to meet a lot of people and all that. So yeah, there's my week. It was a great week, fun, and got this bad boy. And now I can write whatever message I want to myself, and I'll make sure to write like a different message for like every video I make. I kept it simple today because I honestly didn't know what to write. Maybe next time I'll just like write something like hello YouTube, I'm back. I don't know, but it's great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll in the description I'll put in the link, or not the link, but the location to the Cats College place, because it was a great place to visit. And I'll see later on after like editing this video like what exactly else I need to add to the in the description, like maybe like I don't know, like a maybe like calendar of like my of like the school schedule, like for example like when's like break and all that, so like you guys have like a bit of a reference to what I said. Or maybe I'll also I'll see. But for now, that's it. And be sure to check in the description if you really are interested in any of the topics I said, because I'm probably gonna add something for like each of the things I mentioned today. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and please hit that like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.